Good morning, family around the world. Happy Monday. Man, I feel like I ain't chopped it up with y'all in a minute. Although it only been a couple of days, but hey, it is what it is. So, back on this series, Trusting God Isn't Always Easy, Part 5. This is. And the name of it is, It May Not Be My Season. So, as I always start this off, letting you guys know, this series is based on a weekend I had about about 4 or 5 weeks ago now. And it was a struggle, needless to say. God had just came through for me, and I started complaining like the children of Israel. And then, a lot of things was going through my mind, like I have maybe about 4 or 5 in my circle of influence, and these 4 or 5, I don't know them personally, but, they have really been the push in my life over the past year that led me to this point, and steps closer to fulfilling my purpose, and just carrying out what I have been instructed to carry out within my calling, my purpose and everything. So so this particular thought, now I told you about my influencers, because they speak about, like, everybody speak about the secret to success and the principles, the 10 whatever, they help you or whatever, right? So one of my influencers that are like, that's close to my heart, I ain't gonna put it out there like that, but they speak about, this is what it takes, and if you do this, then it'll take your life to the next level, and then they come back with these success stories of the individuals that reach out to them, like, man, thank you for this and that or whatever, like, it has taken my business to the next level, or I'm getting I started my business, it's going well, or my marriage is like phenomenal. My life is much better now. Like, I was in debt, now I'm debt free. I just all these different success stories. Wonderful though, like, not knocking it. And it just made me feel a particular type of way, because last week was it's a thin line between enemy line, we draw a line between us and Christ, and we turn around and start blaming him as if he's the enemy, and I look back on, since I've been doing this trucking thing, like JB Hunt, like, I was there for like 2 years, but after a week of being there, I started applying for another job, because I kind of seen how it was going to be, financially. And this is the reason why I started working. I mean, why I applied there. Or else I would have just stayed at Dr. Pepper, right? A week after I applied, like, God kept me there for additional 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, which I'm grateful for it now. Like, because I learned what he was doing, and what I would like to call, like, one of my darkest points in life, with the job, right? I'm like, this sucks. Like, how's it that these individuals getting, these principles or what have you, and they apply, and boom, like, a new season in their life, they ready. Like, everything changed now, and I'm like, that's not fair. Like, because it's been times where I felt like God was holding me back from doing, what I was trying to do. Like I'm like I only want to provide for my family and start business and go from there or whatever. Like and he have a greater plan, which it includes that, but on a larger scale, but by his hands, his will and his permission alone, not mine, right? So like and I was just having all these issues, like with my influences and whatever. Well, not really issues with them. It was just more like, how is it that like they applying this and excuse me, their life has changed now and it's at another level, not even on some comparison tip or whatever, because I try not to get into that, because I know that's the recipe for disaster. Like it is. Because you're going to always feel like you should be much further when you compare yourself to others, and because you're not, then it brings this unhappiness, this like it's a bad deal. All right. So I stay away from that, and I'm grateful that God was in that conversation with me, because minutes after I was having these thoughts, it just dawned on me. Maybe it's their season. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's not your season yet. Have you ever thought about that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you've been sowing like consistently in one area for a year, and you feel like boom, everything's supposed to blossom now. It's like no, that's not how that works. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how long those individuals that you're looking at, you don't know how long they've been in a particular place in their life. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how much they've been going through. Maybe it's just their season. Maybe it's not your season. So I want to tell you, if you are one that plays the comparison game, kill that immediately. I'm telling you, because like I read something yesterday or whatever from one of my influencers or whatever, and I think he put the person that you comparing yourself to, like they can't sleep at night or something to that effect. Like you don't, like it looks good on the outside, but like you don't know what hell they're going through behind closed doors. You just never know like what they life look like. Yeah, they have all these shiny things, but then too, like their world is dark. Like, so would you want that life? Or would you want a life of fulfillment and happiness, peace and joy and all those beautiful things? Like, so like kill a comparison game, because God have a plan for your life just like he have a plan for their life. You know what I'm saying? So just embrace what he's doing in your life now, because what he's doing in your life now, he's preparing you for that season for you to be fruitful. You know what I'm saying? To reap the harvest from what you've been sowing. I hope it's good seeds you've been sowing though. So kill a comparison game, and just be patient and look at your situation. And although you really want it, although you want to make things happen, but it seems like God is holding you back, I promise you from experience, like I just told you about JB Hunt, like it's more than one of those stories, where I felt like God was holding me back, and I took it to him, and I was like dead wrong making him the enemy. So like, if he is holding you back, thank him for it. I learned to thank him for it, because I learned why he was holding me back, because what was birthed in the dark, like I'm like, wow, thank you for holding me back, because obviously this is much better than my plan or what I was trying to do. All right, so just come to grips with, it may not be your season just yet. All right, and where you are in the season that you're in, it's time to sow. Just keep sowing. Don't worry about the crops and what you're going to reap from it. Don't worry about that. Don't even focus on that. You know what I'm saying? Just keep sowing. Just keep sowing. And at this point in time, God will move you into that season where you are reaping. All right, and sowing still don't stop there. All right, so maybe it's not your season, and just seek him in the process, because he know what he's doing. You might want to link up with him so you can get some insight. All right, much love. You guys have a great day, and I'll chop it up with you soon. All right.